Hey guys, it's been a while. We're doing another episode of Foxy Go Conquest, and we're still 4Q for now. And yeah, so we just started a game with some crossed over 4-4 points, and we're gonna play as simple as we can, just like the previous episodes. So now Black has made a formation on the bottom, like this, and if Black closes the corner here, it's going to complement really nicely, like a double wing formation. So we're just going to approach there and make sure Black can't play that, since also the left side is equally interesting compared to the top otherwise. So yeah, pretty much the bottom and the right sides were crowded. So we took this side, and Black played the pincer here. So what are we going to do? I think we're just going to enter the 3-3 point and again, keep things nice and simple. So Black blocks on this side. We extend our liberties. Black is threatening to push and cut. And at this point, we can just play some pretty simple things, like just connect here or even descend. I think in this case, descend is very interesting. We'll go with the descend, but if you just connect here, it'd be perfectly fine. So Black blocked, and now we have a chance to push and create some shape defects. And now, if we try to Hane here and start playing Atari, Black's going to be able to Atari us here, and then capture this stone and destroy the whole corner. So we're going to just fix up and become completely alive, and Black will probably fix the shape around here. And that gives White Sente to do anything, such as playing elsewhere, or at some point at least, pressing right here. Black was not very optimistic here, so Black was wanting to just finish up this shape quickly. So that's fine. White doesn't really mind, even if Black has all of this. A move like this that doesn't really expand so much as it does just to secure the area for Black. There aren't really too many interesting moves in the future now for Black here, because if Black starts expanding upwards now, then this stone is going to end up inside of Black's own territory. And that's why White doesn't really mind this anymore, so White's just going to play elsewhere. We can play here and start a fight, so I'm thinking of doing that right away, or just doing something like 3-3 invasion over here. In terms of the top side, it would either be 3-3 invasion or approaching from this side, since this side here is more narrow than the top. There's not as much potential for either player to develop the right side right now, since it's a bit more crowded. So it's either the top or the 3-3. Otherwise, you might consider to close the corner like this. But I'm also thinking about this Hane. So if we play this, assuming that Black cuts, we would then have this Atari. Assuming we want to Atari from this side. And then we can either connect or push. If we push, Black will be one step ahead of us, and this might not be too great. Maybe we connect. If we connect, Black will play the diagonal here. And we run, Black runs. I'm not going to play this, because even if Black plays here soon, it doesn't really bother us, does it? So I think we're going to play somewhere over here. I think what we'll do here is just take the 3-3. Black probably blocks this side, and if they do, Black's going to make a wall and probably play on the top. Wow, okay, so this is actually a pretty good example of when Black is when one player is being a bit too modest, not really ambitious enough. So Black is extending really close to the wall, and this gives the White the chance to just undercut. So this move here is attractive because it undercuts Black. But of course, if we play there, Black might approach us and also make us kind of separated and stranded. And Black might also consider to play 3-3. So maybe we consider also just playing here. But what I don't like about this is that Black also gets a really nice extension there to finish the shape. And so maybe we want to be a bit more annoying than that. None of these moves in between, though, right in the middle, are very good. This one's good because it pressures Black the most and has some clear direct follow-ups, like even invading somewhere direct. And also, if black invades a 3-3 point and we block here, the efficiency in terms of the distance of this extension is not too bad. Whereas if we play the small knights move, we don't really do anything against this black group, but we do get a much more secure corner. On the other hand, though, if you play one of these 3 moves, it's kind of the worst of both worlds. Well, okay, I just clicked it. Oops. But the problem with that is that it doesn't have as good of follow-up on this group. And when black plays a 3-3, white ends up actually inefficient because when we make a wall here, this stone here is going to be slightly too close to the really big strong wall that we get. What I'm going to do here is play the double Hane. So we actually still have a way to end up okay here. If I just play the normal 3-3 Joseki, like play Hane and extend, or I just extend here and let black play the knight's move, then again, this extension's a little bit too close. I'm going to double Hane, and this is going to offer black the chance to capture this one stone. Well, okay, black's going to play like that. Now it's going to be very good for white no matter what happens. But if black played Atari here and then capture, we were going to counter Atari here and then extend here and capture these 2 in the corner. This move's a little strange. We're just going to connect and be happy. Black probably plays this. Okay, black played that. That's interesting too, because if we block here, we still have a chance to make a ko if black doesn't respond. Now we can think about doing something like this, since white is pretty strong over here for fighting. We can also think about playing something around here. Yeah, we have a lot of options now, and we have a lot of territory as well. So black is playing a little bit too defensively. This is pretty big locally, something like this. But it doesn't seem too urgent in terms of the whole board. So probably, yeah, it's time to cut. It looks like this fight can only be good for white. I'm not too sure what we're going to do with this fight, but if nothing else, we're going to be reducing black's center potential. So black just backs off, and that's going to be good for us because we do have Sente here, which we could do it right now if we want. We could do this right now because... So if we just take the 2 stones, black can Atari, make us take, and still live by playing here. But if we start here, and then we capture the 2, then the whole corner dies. So I'm going to go and actually play this, because I'm thinking that the left side's going to be ours, and I don't want black to have a chance to push here, just for that 2-point difference. And now I either push here or maybe push here. I think this one is a lot better looking. I guess this one's fine. This one's possible. This might be a bit more optimistic. If black cuts, we can just press. But I think we'll play here because we're pretty happy. And this is a lot cleaner. At this point, we can just play a cap. And it's going to be pretty dangerous for black around here. Okay, so... that's a pretty good move. That's actually a very nice move. If we play here and let black extend this way, it's going to cause us a lot of problems with the cut that we have here, as well as trying to keep black sealed in. So, and if we go here and black blocks, then it's also a problem. So we need to play this. And now, we have to fix a couple of things, mainly the stone here. Now, one strategy in a situation like this is to Atari this stone once and see if black's going to make it bigger. And then we block here. And this makes black a little bit more invested in this cutting group, which makes it better later when we, if we capture it. Another thing we can do is extend like this. And if black Ataris, we can double Atari here and then basically squeeze the whole thing and surround black still from the outside. But that does give black the timing to cut us as well. So I think what we'll do is the first option, because I don't really want to give black a convenient way to cut here. So now we do this, and now it looks like black's probably not going to get a chance to safely cut here. Black gets a tiger's mouth, but black is still in a lot of danger overall. So we do have a cutting point here, so we probably need to fix that. Black probably pushes here or plays a knight's move. And we can just try to keep up the pressure. So we want a double Hane here for sure. Of course, that wouldn't be particularly simple, right? So if black Atari's here, the question is what happens to our 3 stones? So black Atari's here, we connect. There isn't any ladder for black because the ladder breaks as soon as white extends to here and Atari's these. So that's not really too much of a problem. In the spirit of simplicity, as I keep saying in these videos, I'm going to just extend. Because still white's going to be pretty happy from this situation. Black's not really getting anything with this group. And we are getting some good influence in the center. And still black has a lot of future moves left to take care of this group. Okay, so black invested the extra move and is now relatively safe. We can get a peep here. Now the question is, do we need to defend our top side? Not really, because if they come in deep like this, we can just play the diagonal. And black's basically trapped in. Do we need to do anything around here? This cut doesn't work, and yeah, there isn't really too much going on here. So is there anything to do over here? It looks like white's gaining a lot of potential for the right side. So yeah, it seems like that might be a good thing to do next. So I think what we'll do is try to expand this side in some way. And the question is, can we make this shape? So if black plays Hane in the corner, and then diagonal here when we block, and then black plays here, do we have any trouble? Atari, and black squeezes. So black would be able to capture the corner. So the better shape's actually here. So maybe that's what we need to play. Because if we play here and then wall off on here, black might be able to get Sente and play there first, over here. And also, we kind of lose territory in the corner too if black extends here. Okay, black is moving out this stone. That's kind of heavy, to be honest. So we can just happily play Hane here. And this cut here still doesn't work for black. So black's not really getting anything from this, to be honest. Yeah, we can just push again and then continue building. So we're going to just continue with our plan now, and we're going to make a wall now. Black can try to counter with this jump, and this would turn into a big fight. But so black just responded, which is pretty normal, and then we're going to make a wall here. So this is a normal middle game technique to remember. And as you can see, I'm getting some stones here. And now it's looking like I'm going to start making some center. So the question is, do we defend around here? Or do we need to play around here and give up something a little bit over here? Probably better to just defend in some way here. So yeah, I think we'll just play nice and solid. So black just went right in. Wow. Holy. So all we need to do now is just cut black off, I guess, with one of these moves. Yeah, maybe just this one. I guess knight's move works fine too. And just keep cutting, keep cutting. Just cut all the things. Okay, if we go there and black connects and we push here, black can actually cut. I think we'll actually go for the double Atari this time, because we don't really mind black getting strong where black's already strong. So the Ponuki that black gets there doesn't really matter too much. The bigger question would be what happens with a potential co-fight here if black Ataris and starts trying to make a mess. So we're going to take this co. If black breaks in, then black breaks in, but we can still probably have time to cut this one off. So black actually connected, so that's very surprising, because now we have a chance to just follow up here, and black didn't really succeed with this. So we can Atari this way, or we can Atari this way. It doesn't really matter at this point. So I think we'll Atari this way, because it harms this the stone over here a little more. And I'm going to just push again. If black wants to play here, black can have the one stone and take Gote. If black extends down, then of course we can just play here. So black is trying to just reduce us now. So yeah, we just need to take some center. And I guess the best way to do that would be just something around here, maybe here. That cut is definitely overplay because if we just extend this stone here, there's nothing really going to happen to the stone over here. So I can just play this. And nothing really happens here. That's fine. I'll push once here and see what black's going to do. So that looks like a mistake because now we can Atari here. And the question is it even big for us to take this? I guess it's pretty big because if black extends here, later black can jump in. And if we tried to push and cut, we would actually lose our 4 stones. So we can play another move here. It might not be the biggest on the board, but it does keep things simple for us. There are some really big moves elsewhere on the board, like sliding into here, or even blocking here. Even Hane here. This is pretty small actually, this one. It's actually very small. Yeah, playing around here is pretty big. Of course, in this case, black is so strong here that if I go here, this kind of Tetsuji move here could make things a bit dangerous for us. So I think instead of sliding on the second line and making a thin, large knight's move shape, I'll probably just play this and try to maintain Sente. So I'll play once here, and I'll play Hane. The point of playing Hane here and making black block and then playing elsewhere maybe is because after that, if black takes the 1 stone, this will become Atari for us and black will have to take off and then we can ignore again. But if we don't exchange this and black just plays Hane and we block, then if black Ataris and we connect, black's the one who has Sente. So just a little difference there. But do I even need to play anything there? This is really big, this one. What should I play? I think what we'll do is we'll cause a little bit of trouble around here first. Oh, that seems like a big mistake. Oh, black does have an Atari here though. Because the thing is, like, if I Atari here, and then black takes, and then I connect here, then if black cuts, we can Atari and then Atari and capture all these. Problem with that is that if black Ataris once here beforehand, then this would be self-Atari for us. Okay, we won the game. Cool. So let's see the game really quickly. So everything was fine. Everything was totally fine. This push is kind of unnecessary because black loses 1 liberty. Unless you're going to cut or you need to push because you're going to lose the chance. For example, if white's going to take it away from you, you shouldn't really push for no reason because you make white stronger and you lose a liberty. So it's better to just block here directly. And this move was definitely losing some points. It's better for black to just keep expanding and play a more flexible game. And don't really worry too much if your opponent invades. Let's say black plays here. If white were to come in, let's say playing here. Even if we had black doing something very simple, like fixing the cut, for example. The cut doesn't work yet, but even if black plays something like this, if white jumps, you can do a peep and then do, let's say, a capping move. And, you know, you can just chase. Or maybe you chase in this direction. And then black can get some potential territory over here. Of course, this black move would be quite unnecessary and very slow. So other ideas for black would be, for example, capping here. If white comes out, black can push once on this side. And then black has a chance to turn here and make white have an empty triangle to connect. And then black can just chase white away like this. And in the future or at any time, black can still attack white by changing direction like this, or any way black wants, maybe like this. For example, black can switch to this side and harass the corner here. Corner is not perfectly alive because if white plays elsewhere, then you have things like this. Or even just attaching here directly. If white tries to block, then as soon as black plays here, white basically collapses. So this is a big problem for white. So there's a good chance that white is either going to respond to this move with playing here, or maybe trying to fight like this. But either way, you can basically make it so that the fight over here affects the fight over here, and you can make this white group here end up in big trouble. For example, let's say white takes the corner, which is pretty big for points. Black can do maybe some other forcing moves, try to harass white some more, and then start chasing white in this direction where you have your stones now. So you can see there's some trouble with this white group. Even if you just play here next, still, it looks like black can make a lot of points by chasing white. Or yeah, even play here. For example. And white still is not safe. So in the real game, black is just worrying too much about having real points. If you're going to worry too much about just having, you know, perfectly secure territory, it's probably better not to make a large framework type of shape. For example, the variation black chose in the corner here. In that case, it's better for black to just play something like this. Okay, so for the rest of the game, we took the 3-3 points. And yeah, as I was saying before, this approach would also be natural since it's trying to take the top. And the top is the most wide and valuable side right now. Everything else is more crowded and narrow. And also just playing here, this takes the corner. It also occupies some of the top. And yeah, it just makes sense to get the corner in a way where black cannot live unconditionally. For example, if black plays like this, then black's not alive and white can actually capture like this. So this is a dead shape. Even if black cuts, white can just extend and nothing actually happens. So black would have to make a ko shape like this. And white takes first. So that's the difference between playing a small knight's move enclosure and playing something like a large knight's move or something bigger. I have a video, by the way, all about the small knight's move enclosure. So yeah, if you're interested in that, definitely check that out on my YouTube channel. We had the 3-3 invasion, and although I did misclick this one, and this is kind of an awkward extension, as we saw in the real game, white does have a way to get some efficiency back. If white just plays like this, then this extension really wants to be one space to the right. And if we play this one, this older variation, then this is even worse because we got an even bigger wall this way, and yet our our side extension is just a little bit too close. So what we did is the double hane. Normally black will Atari here and take one stone like this, and we will counter Atari and take the corner. So this makes our extension here much better, because it's not really too close when you consider that although it's a bit too close to the wall, we also, inside of the wall, we have the corner territory. So it's actually okay. Black usually pushes up here next because there's future forcing moves, thanks to these black stones inside of here. For example, if black plays here, white needs to respond. And also if black doesn't play there, then even if white just pushes, it's going to be painful for black Because black, especially in this case, black doesn't have much territory to make over here, but white has some territory here. And so white's going to be able to expand with a whole bunch of sente moves, maybe something like this. And yeah, it's a lot better for white than for black. So the rest of the game, black played this extension here, which is pretty unnecessary. Even if black wants to not choose the variation I showed, black should at least connect normally and then just play like this. This will be very much a living shape, and white still has some problems with the shape now, so white probably fixes because there's multiple cutting points, and in the future this can be a big problem. Not only is there a clamp here, which works, and so black can eliminate white's territory, but also there can be another problem such as cut and then cutting here, and in the future this could threaten the 3 stones here, especially if there's more black stones in the area. So it's basically just too much badaji to leave around. So I would expect at least a variation like this. And then at least black has sente. So black can play something like this, looks pretty big. Otherwise, playing here looks pretty important. It improves the center potential, but also stops white from starting this fight, which is a pretty big problem for black when white is so strong over here. Black can also think about this attachment, but yeah, that's pretty much the big moves. Maybe even jumping here or pressing around here with black, trying to expand this. So this was unreasonable for black because all of this is white. Even though I went a little easy on black trying to make things really simple for us, it's still pretty bad for black, especially if black takes gote here. And yeah, this pulling out these stones definitely was not very effective for black because it doesn't activate this cut or anything. So it would have been a lot better for black to maybe play something like this, which goes in fairly deep, but is also threatening this corner and also threatening to cut down here and harm the 1 stone. So white probably would have responded in some way, and it's easy for black to survive with this now. White can try to fight with maybe attaching over here to create trouble for these 2 stones over here, as well as the bottom territory, but it still seems like black can probably manage it. Even if it went something like this. Black has more forcing moves this way, and also forcing moves this way. So it's pretty easy for black to survive eventually in here. As soon as black played this move, it's way too deep, and yeah, it's pretty much cruise control now for whites. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, stay safe, keep sente, and I'll see you guys in the next one.